I'm here with Andrew Kays. He is a candidate for State Rep District 9, which is Kahului, Pu'unene, the Old Sandhills, and Maui Lani. And we're going to walk story.
Sounds good.
Thank you,
Thanks
Andrew, for joining us. Could you just tell us a little bit about your background, your ties to Maui? Why are you running for office?
Sure. So I'm a medical doctor. I'm a radiologist. I've been in practice here on Maui since 2007. I decided to run for office this year after the state legislature passed the physician-assisted suicide bill. I was unapologetically pro-life, but I was just all in on, I thought this was a bad idea for our state, and I was real disappointed in our state, and so I wanted to kind of get involved in the process and let people know my views on the subject.
Yeah. Why is that such an important issue to you?
To me, all life is just so important and so sacred, but at the same time, I feel like my role, or all my colleagues' role as doctors, is to be a physician healer, to be someone who will stand by someone and say, hey, you know, we got this, we're going to stay with you, we're going to make sure you're comfortable. I have had to educate some people where they say, oh, maybe you're not being as compassionate as you should, and I would argue that it's more compassionate to really make sure someone's out of pain and having their depression treated or anxiety treated, rather than just sort of, I don't know, in my mind it's abandoning them, and it's against the Hippocratic Oath and against the American Medical Association recommendations.
So I saw a study that said, in 2016, it's about 80% of Hawaii residents were for physician-assisted death. And I know you're trying to get this message out there. So what are you trying to say to these people that maybe think it's okay?
So I think, and this is something I've had detailed conversations with people, but I think what's missing is people think maybe I'm going to be abandoned, maybe I'm going to be in constant pain, and I would rather just have the opportunity to die. And I think that the reason that's misguided is, as a doctor, we can help people stay out of pain, we can help people alleviate their anxiety, we can help people live the rest of their life, to me, with dignity, and there's no reason to just cast aside their life. To me, my greatest gift is my salvation. My second greatest gift is my life, and I want people to understand that life is important and sacred.
So are there any programs that you would like to further fund for people
Yes.
that are terminally ill?
No, hospice to me is already a great program, and if people aren't getting the help from hospice they need, that would be something, if I were elected, I'd want to investigate to see if there's ways we could help people more financially, with end-of-life care rather than, aid and, I don't know how you want to call it, physician-assisted suicide. Find ways to make sure if people feel like, hey, I can't afford these drugs, or I'm not getting what I need and I'm suffering, we need to find ways as a community, as a state, and as a medical community to help these people.
And so your philosophy as being pro-life, does that extend to other policy decisions that you'd like to make?
Yeah, again, I'm all in pro-life. I think there are some gray issues on the abortion. I think there's, but to me, I still think it's sad. It's something that I would like to see less of, at least, if we can't agree that it's, maybe find some regulations more in the lines of Europe. But I just think life is so important that we have to find ways to defend it and help those, and help. The main reason, to me, I'm kind of sidetracking here is I feel like young people are sort of getting the wrong idea that maybe when they see our state legislature vote for physician-assisted suicide, that maybe they think, well, that person's life, that doesn't matter, that terminally ill, and again, I think that if we could find a way to cultivate, hey, life is important, maybe some of these kids who are sad would think twice before they did some unspeakable act of violence to themselves or others. I feel like we got to bring back the culture of life.
Right. So what are 3 other priorities that you have if you were to be in the legislature?
So 3 other priorities. If I were elected, I would like to see. I've had some communication with Medicare, Medicaid. There are ways people get lost in the system. Particularly if they move. I'd like to try to find ways to prevent people from being lost in the system in Medicare, Medicaid. I feel like I want to support education. I feel like equal opportunity for education is important. I feel like there is some overcrowding in Maui schools. I've read about that. I want to keep supporting an excellent opportunity for education for everyone. I think affordable housing is a problem in my district, and I think that's something that I would be on board with trying to learn more about and find solutions, whether they be opening up smaller percentages of land for development to increase the supply, or just some way so that people could afford to live here. And it's hard. I live here too. It's very expensive. I love it, but it's an expensive place. We need to find ways to help people in our community stay here and be active.
Well, all right, Andrew, we're at the end of the street. That means it's time to say goodbye. But I want to thank you for joining us today.
Okay.
And remember to vote in the primary,
Hey,
August
thanks.
11th, the general election, November 6th.
Appreciate it.